welcome back to another cleaning video, and this week I'm doing a weekly reset. We're kicking things off on Wednesday morning by making the bed, and this is a quick little midweek refresh to give you some motivation to get through the work week. I know it's tough to keep everything in order, especially when you work full-time, so here's a little glimpse of what I got done during the week. And I originally planned to film this in one day, but it did end up taking place over the course of 2 days. So let's just go into everything that I got done, little odds and ends chores. So what I'm doing here is taking down clothes that had been up drying, and I'm folding them and getting ready to put them away. And there are certain clothes that I don't put in the dryer and I just let air dry, usually but like sweatpants and sweatshirts I want to last for as long as possible, like keep the softness and the fleeciness of them, so I like to air dry them. And then things like Lululemon and Athleta pants I will air dry. So now it is Wednesday evening. Yes, that was from Wednesday morning to Wednesday evening is the next time that I did a chore, and I am loading up the dishwasher here. We have this helpful little dirty to clean sign so that we know when I came back here that it was clean. It usually takes about 2.5 hours for the dishes to be done. And then here I am just unloading everything, putting everything back into its place. And honestly, this process only takes 2 to 3 minutes, being in a smallish apartment. Everything is like nearby. Even this drawer is right next to the dishwasher. So even though it's a pain to do, it doesn't take very long, and I'm just getting it done here. Now I'm just cleaning up some dishes that were in the sink, just loading some stuff into the dishwasher, and then I will hand wash like the spatula here and some pans or whatever is left over in there. Now I'm just cleaning up the little coffee area. This gets used throughout the day. Now that it's the evening time, it probably won't be used again. So cleaning that up and then spraying down the counter with some granite cleaner and just giving it a good wipe with the rag. See, now here's what I was saying. This was filmed over the course of 2 days. So this is Thursday morning. That's everything I got done on Wednesday. It wasn't a lot, but it's what I did. And now I'm loading up the laundry basket here, getting ready to start another load of laundry. I find it really helpful to do laundry, or at least start it during the day, because it only takes a couple minutes to start it, but then folding it takes the longest. So if I have a quick break, and I have laundry to do, that's when I'll try to get it at least started in the washer. And then here I am refilling the soap. Usually I have to refill this like once a week, and this is one of those pouches where you can refill it like 3 times. And then I'm cleaning the top of the soap bottle because I think that gets dirty. And then I'm spraying down the sink here with some Lysol spray and then some Windex on the mirror. And I'm not doing like a deep bathroom clean, but I think this needs to be done like 2 times a week, like just wiping down the sink, because it does get dirty really quick, especially because it's white and you can see like all the little hairs and like toothpaste and stuff just gathers over there. So because I was there refilling the soap, I just decided to do this really quickly. And again, it only takes a couple minutes. And then I'm changing out the towel. I try to do this like every 3 to 4 days, just changing out that little hand towel in the bathroom. So this must have been an hour-ish later, hour plus later, that I flipped the laundry from the washer to the dryer, threw in a laundry sheet, and then got that running. So yeah, now we're considering it evening, and this isn't the dry laundry, this is kind of what I did in the beginning. I'm taking out certain items of clothing that I don't want to go in the dryer. They've been washed, but I just don't want them in the dryer yet. So I'm hanging them up to air dry. So like I said, that's stuff like sweatpants, like leggings, athletic pants, this one turtleneck that I didn't want to put in the dryer because it's soft and I want to keep that softness. And then my dog is so curious about this stuff. She loves to see it. She wants to be involved. So there I am hanging it on the door. We don't have a drying rack, but I think that's something I'll get in the future, but for now the door works. I don't do this as often as I should, but I am vacuuming the bathroom rug here. I always forget to do it, and then I want to do it at night after it's been used and it's soaking wet, and I don't want to vacuum the soaking wet rug. So I'm glad that I remembered today, and I even flipped it over to vacuum the back. But I feel like I should be doing this like more than once a month, and that's not necessarily always the case. But yeah, really glad I got it done today. And then I try to wash it every 3 months in the washer. There's Kiki again. She's so curious about what's going on. And these baseboards here get really dusty because it's right across from the washer and the dryer, and when the lint comes out, I think it just gets super dusty there. So while I have the vacuum out, I'm just giving it a quick vacuum, and it's always nice to look at nice clean baseboards. So now here is another random odds and ends chore. The Brita needed to be replaced. We have the one where it's like the Brita stream, so you don't have to fill like the top, the water filters as it's pouring out. But basically when it's due for a filter change, I also like to deep clean it. So what I'm doing is just filling it up with Dawn dish soap, and I let it sit for a little bit longer than what it looks like in this video. And then I came back maybe 30 minutes to an hour later, and I'm just hand washing each component with water and a sponge. Just making sure to get as much grime out from the inside and the outside as possible. And here I am just pulling out the new filter. You have to rinse it for 15 seconds under cold water, and then you add it back to the filter, and then you have to fill it up once and then dump that out. I basically know this by heart at this point. So there I am just dumping out one cycle of the water. I know you can also use this to water plants, but you don't really have much plants here. And then just resetting the button so that it can turn green again, and we won't get that red light anymore. So now I'm doing something that I mentioned in my last video where I was cleaning the bar cart. I had these travel size containers from a trip that I took over a month ago, and I had not cleaned them out. This is a toothbrush container from that trip. So now it was my time to actually get that done. So the way that I'm doing it is I'm using the Dawn Power Wash to spray like the outside and inside, but I did fill up a bowl and add some warm water and Dawn to let them soak a little, just to get like some initial stuff off. So I'm not rinsing as much, but I did do a lot of rinsing here. The soap and the shampoo really gets stuck in there, so it does take a little bit to get it all out, but I'm really glad that I got this done. This was overdue. And these bottles are like collection from different stores, like they're Target brand, like one of them is from like a random drugstore, some of them are from the Muji store, some of them are just reused containers that contained another product, and they're just from all over the place. The worst one are these spray bottles, and you think they still have like a little bit of soap in them, so I always like spray out a full cycle to make sure that it's clean. But yeah, these are a pain to do, but glad I got it done. And we are back in the bedroom, and we're bringing in some laundry here. That laundry from earlier is all dry and it's ready to be folded. I don't really have a method to folding other than just group similar things together. Like anything that needs to be hung, I'll put it into a pile. T-shirts will go into a pile. Shorts will go into a pile. Long pants will go in a pile, but I'll basically just grab whatever's on top and then just add it to that pile, other than or instead of separating them out first. And the very last thing that I do are the socks. I will put them in their own pile without folding them together, and then I will fold them together after everything else is done. Finally, putting everything away. And that is it for the night. We put on the little ambient lights, lit a candle, and we are ready for bed. Thanks for coming along and seeing the little odds and ends chores that I do during the week. If you are interested in seeing more clean with me videos, I have a couple up, but follow along, hit subscribe, and I will be posting new videos on a weekly basis.